Hey, what is up? We are continuing on our mix using some of the Stax Records techniques and applying waves and Logic plugins and some universal audio plugins to achieve as close as we can get to that Stax sound. So my name is Lisa Marshall and welcome to the channel. And first I want to play you a little bit of the song, and Almighty Posse has asked me a question about production, so I wanted to go ahead and answer that real quick. This song, let me shrink my head. All right. So this song really, the basic tracks, the drums, the bass, the lead guitar, and the rhythm guitar. And you know what? I'm just going to kind of solo this out so you can hear it. How about that? All right, so you can see, here's the drum bus. And I have the overhead bus not in the mix bus. This seems to be a trick that I learned from Aubrey Whitfield. Also great for production tips. If you're not following her, you should. Aubrey Whitfield, and I'll put her name in a description below after we hop off, because what I have found is that it really can color the entire mix. So here's the overhead, and let's see here, here's the bass, just showing you what got recorded in the studio. Now there is a rhythm guitar here, but I'm not using it. I don't think the song needs it because I've got a lot of other things going on. Now, the lead vocals also were done, they were overdubbed in the studio. And so then what I did is I went home into my, let me back up for a second. I moved to Austin in 2009 and we got together this great band. And then shortly after we went into the studio. We went to this little studio in a little town called Buda that's just south of Austin. And we did this basically, we multi-tracked. Obviously, I had to go and redo the vocals because I was in the room with all the instruments. I literally had our drummer had a big piece of plexiglass in front of him so we could see him. We were such a new band that we really had to watch each other for the stops and such. So that's how we did the basic tracks. And then I took those tracks, and I was using GarageBand at the time because I didn't have Logic, and I added the harmonies. So this is and all the percussion, tambourine, shaker is in here. I did that at the house as well in my studio. Now, when we're talking about strings, well, they're not on here. Let's grab a chorus, pre and a chorus real quick. Actually, let's just back it up. Back it up. So the strings, I recorded using a MIDI keyboard, also in GarageBand. And and I still haven't treated the buses on any of the horns or the strings. And I did the horns on a MIDI keyboard too. So that's kind of my process. There's also a harp on here. There's flute. There's electric piano I also did on a keyboard. It's a lot of DIY, to be honest. A lot of listening to old soul music while I take walks, getting inspiration, what kind of instrumentation to add. And I kind of wanted to... I wanted this to be somewhere in between a Stax Records and Atlantic Records, where Aretha Franklin recorded, especially Hey Now Hey with Hello Sunshine, one of my favorite songs. So that's kind of a little backstory on the production of this. Let's get going on what we are doing as far as continuing on the mix here. So let me unsolo all of this stuff. I don't know if that's exactly what you meant. If not, just shoot me a comment and I'll get more specific on anything any of the questions that you have. So thank you for asking that question. Again, that was Almighty Posse. I'm not sure if if they are on or not at the moment, but that's a shout out to you, my friend, for that wonderful question. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so this is where we're at. I've kind of already gone ahead and started to drop in some of the plugins here on the drum bus, the kick bus, the snare bus, the overheads. And the bass, I know I still have a little work on that to do. I'm very close, but not quite close on the tonality and the tightness I want from that. So right now we're just working. I've already balanced the tracks. I've got things panned. This is a constant, what I have learned in mixing, it is constantly going back and nudging this a little, panning that a little harder or a little less, that kind of stuff. And you can see on the panning here, this is stereo panning. Which I recently started doing, and the verdict is still out for me on that, because I have done so many other songs on GarageBand without stereo panning. Stereo panning effectively takes the entire signal and moves it over. So, and that's, I think, essentially what you want to do. I haven't done enough research, however, on if that is something that was done at Stax Records. I will get back to you on that. Right now, I'm just going to continue on working on getting the kick and the bass to sit together nicely to kind of get this rhythm section where I want it. Somebody's calling me. All right, so this is what we're doing. So I've got this NLS bus console on here, and I'm picking the Nevo, emulated after the Neve 1073, which was a very popular choice then. And actually, it's as close as I can get at the moment to what they really used, which was the Telefunken V72 or Altec preamps. Also Telefunken. I love Telefunken. I really want a Telefunken mic. Okay. All right, so let's get to this. I'm a little scattered. Sorry. So what I've got is on the kick bus, on the drum bus, excuse me, a little we're just doing light compression. What I'm really learning about Stax Records is that it's minimal processing. It's really about capturing the essence in the room. So, however, obviously I didn't record in one of their rooms, so I probably am going to have to use a little more processing than is recommended. All right, so let's see what we got here. I'm going to start by taking all of this off. I'm going to get rid of this. I was going to try this Kramer PIE as a compressor. It suggested that you could use it on the drum bus, but I think I'm liking the Logic compressor a little bit better because there's more, as you can see, there's more controls here. There's more that you can do. And on the drum bus, you want to have like a medium attack. You want a slow release. You want the ratio 3-to-1 up to 6-to-1. I'm starting at 3-to-1. And I'm also, you can use this mix knob for some saturation on the drums. However, I think I'm going to leave that up mostly to the J37 tape plugin. Okay. And I've already got the kick bus kind of working too on that. So we're just going to take all of this off and we're going to start like this. Now, this Waves HEQ, I like to use it because you can, let me move this over. You can basically freeze the frequencies to see where things are sitting at. It's very helpful if you need the visual on things. So let me show you kind of what I'm talking about here. Oh, and clearly I've already used it too, but we're not going to use that. Well, we might. Let's grab it, another one. All right, so here's, I'll show you. So you can freeze it and you can kind of see where it's peaking here. You can kind of look at what you're working with, what you need to do, kind of thing. So let's see what we got. I'm going to try giving this a little bit of drive. Yeah, I wanted to see if it was going to warm up that snare a little bit. It's better. All right, now we got the compressor working. And I'm just using the vintage Opto compressor in Logic. I think some of this vintage stuff in Logic sounds amazing to me. But I also want to make sure that we aren't letting the volume get away. So let's see what we got before. Yeah, that's quite the jump. We're going to have to adjust that output gain. can go with about -1 dB on the drum bus. Okay. Yeah, they've got some, yeah, this vintage EQ console is really quite lovely too. And again, I am a fan of trying out these presets. The drum bus, I mean, you can hear it already gave it a little bit of the little warmth on the bottom there on the snare, which it needed it, and giving a little top end niceness to it too. Got the J37 tape. So we're going to change the speed to 7.5 here. Keep this normal. Actually, we're going to keep it at 15. All right, let's just keep it here for a minute. I'm liking it. You can hear, there's this, listening to a lot of Stax and soul music, especially on that kick, you can hear the air when the kick hits. And we're kind of getting that. So this is pretty, I'm pretty happy with this so far. Yeah, I may not have to do anything to the kick, which is great. There we go. Nice, okay. You know, I'm going to leave this alone. Let's see what they got in here. That's nice. I'm telling you. That's all it needs. I like the sound of that snare. Hey, DJ Sir, thank you. I really appreciate that. Says you got great space in between all your instrumentation and vocals. Very nice. Wonderful. I thank you. I appreciate that feedback very much. It's kind of exciting not to have to do a whole lot to it or get a little obsessive over it. So thank you. I appreciate that. I think I'm leaving the drums like it is. I like it. Yeah, the only thing I'm going to do now is just give the guitars. I'm going to see what we can do on this guitar bus here. Yeah, I just want to give it a little verbiage. Let's see what we got here. All these other plugins that aren't on are my graveyard of plugins where of my first attempt to mix, and then I was like, I was just trying to figure it all out. So yeah, let's start with this, and we've got these wah guitars in here too, so that'll be fun. So let's start with this. We need a little bit of really, I think the only thing I want to do is add maybe a little tape on that to warm it up, and yeah, I think I'm going to leave it as such. I'm not going to even try to put a compressor on that. I'm going to use automation to kind of control any peaks. But so far I haven't heard any. Really, I just want to give it a little, I like the tonality of it. I think I just want to give it a little verbiage, honestly. And having said that, so we're going to do a nice little send here. We'll go up to, we'll use 12. We'll go over here and grab it. I hate it when it does that. I'm not really sure why it does that, but I don't need this track. And then it shows up nowhere. Okay. Yeah, there's still a lot of mysteries in Logic for me. That's not going to work. Or, you know what? I'm going to try just sending it to 15 through the room verb and just cranking it up a little bit more and see if that is going to do us. That's all I'm gonna do. I think the tone is fine. I might have to take down the volume a little bit on that. That's about it. Let's see what we can do with this wah bus. All right, again, we're going to start with this NLS bus. Now, especially on these guitars, here's an interesting part of this project too, is that down here you'll see it says dash bip. So I did I took a class and I did a process of actually running this through what the process would be if it were old school analog board tape, all that good stuff. So that's what this is, but there's really no EQ. I just literally ran it through. I didn't really understand what I was doing then. So now we're gonna jizz this up a little bit here. Yeah, I like it without. And you know, because one is playing more of a lead part and one is playing rhythm, I think I'm going to tend to these separately on the compression. Again, I'm just using that vintage Logic compressor. And I want to give them a little bit differentiation. Let's just see here. Because I'm hitting so hard on that. On the brr. I want to keep that. I'm not going to do anything. I just want to give it a little color, so. So we're gonna do a little vintage cue because so what I'm doing is I'm just going to use the HEQ as a visual, but I'm going to use the EQ here to make the adjustments. Already doing a boost around 4K. I'm just going to widen the band a little bit and try boosting it just a bit more. We're using the 88 formula as recommended to emulate as close as we can to the tape that was used then. Yeah, that's all I want. That's good for now. I want it to stay kind of sitting back on the track. I want it to be one of those little surprise things where every once in a while you're like, wait, is that a wah guitar? Because it's just adding little I don't know, little noodly bits, little fun things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I also want to make sure that I've got some tape over here on this lead guitar. And all I did was hit down, I pushed down Option, grab the J37 tape, and it's going to be the same exact settings as on this guitar. But I want to see what this looks like because I don't want this to be any more distorted than it is. generally, they did not use the wow and flutter. They were really about capturing the room. So I just need to make sure I take all of these down, or it was very, very low. I'm just going to send this to the same reverb. And actually, I might treat these separately too. I'm just partly experimenting. I'm just sending this to the room reverb that I'm using on the mix bus. And let's see, this is the rhythm. Yeah. Okay, so good times. Now what I want to attend to are the strings. I gotta say, you know, I kind of follow the lead of really just giving a little bit of room reverb on the mix bus, sending them to two different reverbs, room reverbs. And it's set pretty low. I'm trying to use more of a room ambience, kind of trying to put myself in that place, in that room. And mixing everything with very, very little bit of that reverb to kind of create that room and nothing else on anything. Getting the balance and the panning is all the difference. That's just my takeaway. Okay, here we go. We're going to tend to the strings bus now. Now you can see I've got this Shep 73 here on the strings already. I'm going to go ahead and leave it because I've gotten used to hearing it. Alright, I'm going to see if they got a strings preset. No, I'm not, because I really don't want to EQ it like that. I'm going to go ahead and leave the straight up 1073. That's what I'm going to do for this on the strings here. Hey, thanks the Bronze Yog Report. I appreciate that. Hey, Lurk Squad, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me. And I welcome any questions too. So thank you. All right, what are we doing here? We're going to go to the waves. Excuse me, we're going to the Logic Vintage Opto again for the compressor. So let's see what we got here. Again, I like to look at the presets because I figure, they knew what they were doing. I don't see anything for strings. Oh, good to know. Electric piano, I need to do that. I'm gonna this about 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, the reason I'm doing the vocal writer is because this is clearly strings that were done on a keyboard. What I like about the vocal writer, as you can see, it almost humanizes the string playing. Like I can imagine like the bows and the attack just watching this vocal writer. And so let's see what we got here as far as what the EQ is looking like on this. Also, let's grab our vintage tube EQ. Let's see if we got any presets here. Again, I'm a fan of the presets, man. Sometimes it can just save you time. It can also really fuck your shit up, so be careful. Hey, Just Scooters. Hello, Cedric. Hello. Thank you. I appreciate that. But mostly, you can always go. Again, I'm gonna have to probably continue to just kind of nudge things around in the automation on the volume part of this and panning. But so far, I'm pretty pleased with it. Let's just see what happens. It doesn't look like they've got anything for strings, so that's great. Yep, nothing. Okay, so let's see what we got. All right, so I'm going to boost this. So as far as strings are concerned, according to my research, generally they'd boost around 200 to 300 hertz. We got some good stuff happening. But we're not quite hitting the 200 hertz, so I'm just going to boost a little bit of that. No way to do that on this. Let's see if it's going to do anything for us. Well, sometimes don't be afraid to use digital, right? So I guess that's the lesson. I just needed a little nudge of that 200, which... Actually, let me try something real quick here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, great. So what I basically did is I just took this low frequency 100 and I just expanded the bandwidth here and boosted it a little bit, about 2 dB. And then I attenuated, which is a great feature that the Pultec EQP1A has. You can boost and attenuate at the same time. But I just went and attenuated around 5K because I wanted to get those strings a little less in the vocal range. And I've got those vocal range boost around 5. Let's try that also with the we're going to try the same thing over here on the bass bus. And also, we're going to get this DBX, I think, out of here. Now, the DBX is something that was quite used in soul music as well. So, I might keep it. I like the DBX as a compressor. It's just not typically what was used at Stax, but it has been. All right, first, let's just see what we got going on here, and let's try this with the bass first. Yeah, I have a tendency, especially when I start getting tired, to start throwing way too many compressors or plugins on. So I'm going to put you over here for a minute. I just want to see what we got going on and how we're going to control that using this. All right. Okay. So far, all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this HEQ just to do a high pass filter on the bass. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I'm liking it's sitting better in the mix anyway. I might have to go adjust some of the volume. Leon, hello, Lupino, let's go. I love it. Hey, Lurk Squad. Watching a mix is more relaxing than mixing yourself. Yeah, totally. I agree with you. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to grab the helicopter. I'm just curious about I think I like this. I think I'm loving the Logic's compressor here. Although I've got parallel compression going now. Yeah, I'm going with the DBX. It's tighter. No tape. Kind of losing the drums, aren't I? Lost a little clarity around the drums or my ears are going to shit. Can't figure it out. I don't know how I muted the snare bus. Mistakes. All right, so that was really interesting. On the drum bus here, I prefer the vintage console EQ. Gave it that warmth and that roundness more so than the just the vintage EQ. Interesting. Great. Yeah. All right, I did a little send over there. The things about the strings. We're going to go, there's a preset in here that I love, Lush Strings. We definitely need more reverb than that. There we go. All right, let's tend to these horns. We're going to go to the MLS bus. Boom. Nevo. Pretty pleased with this. Might have to do something a little more with the vocals. They're sounding a little thin to me, but again, it could just be my ears. Oh, hey, Apollo. Right on. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Well, I'm going to go actually to the keys bus. This is just the electric piano part that's happening on the verses only, so not much needs to be done here because I think my ears are starting to get a little fatigued. I know they are. And I don't want to have to fix anything that I've screwed up because I just wouldn't give up. See, I'm starting to get tired. Let's try this. grab our favorite compressor. I'm not getting too much volume on this thing. 23. So I don't know, this electric piano part was inspired by Chain of Fools. I don't know. Oh, Apollo, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Aretha Franklin's Chain of Fools. And I, for one, Aretha Franklin is my absolute favorite. I can listen to her nonstop over and over again. She's one of those artists I just never, ever, ever get tired of. And like I said, sometimes I like to go for walks and just listen to some songs and get inspiration. And one day I'm listening to Chain of Fools and I hear this little tiny electric piano part happening in the background. I'm like, what the? So that's kind of what inspired me to put this on the verses. Just little, that's all this is. That's all it does. Da 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 da. All right, let's keep going on this. And then I think after we get this little electric piano part done, I'm going to have to hop off. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Thank you so much. And thank you for the comments. And thank you for the questions. And yeah, I hope you will consider subscribing and following me. I'm self-producing my own EP. This is one of the songs I'm mixing. I've got this week, I'm working on some string arrangements on another song and then finishing the arrangement of another. And I'm way behind schedule, but I'm okay. It's okay. And then I hope by the weekend I will at least start recording 2 songs. I'm hoping I can get more than that done. But I'm doing it all live here. So, yeah, come hang with me. It's nice to have company. Hey, Milton, thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Get our tube EQ in here. Here's the other thing, just really quick, I love about Logic is that how intuitive it is, because this electric piano part is, yes, it's in stereo. Most of the MIDI stuff is. And it just, will show you, it'll give you the option. Is this mono? Is this stereo? And I'm tired and I'm just talking crazy. So, okay, we just keep going. Grabbing this. Again, I just want to see where this is sitting. Alright, first of all, we're gonna definitely gonna add a high pass filter on this. I don't want it cluttering up anything. That's one thing I need to look into about the high pass filters on this. It's got a lot of warmth in the 5. Might just have to use this for this particular one. I might have to readdress that, but that's something I need to learn, is whether or not I can do high pass filters on these vintage EQs. I'm sure you can. I just, for some reason, my brain is just not thinking that it's not functioning right. Let's put this on 8088. Let's take off the wow and the flutter. I don't think it's going to do too much. It's sitting a lot right in that really nice warm zone, and I just don't want to muddy that up too much. I want to make sure that the vocals have plenty of room in that. So let's see what happens when we got... Curious what this whirly is going to be. right. Well, we're going to leave it here for now. Hey, Almighty Posse, right on. Yes, my pleasure. Bob Ross would be proud of you. I love it, Milton. You know, that's really funny because I just watched that. I don't know if you guys saw the Netflix. Was it Netflix with shit. I'm telling you, my brain's going to hell. My memory. I can see the guy's face with the interesting nose. Anyway, it's the movie about, I guess it's loosely based on Bob Ross. It was a trip of a movie. I really recommend it if you guys haven't seen it. But that's funny you bring it up, Milton, because that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Like, that I'm, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay. All right, well, I got to put some notes in here as to where I am. All right. So, what I got to work on tomorrow is Logic EQ, high pass filter. Question mark. Think. I got to get the horns. And really that's kind of it. I think what I'll do real quick is flute, harp, and the whirly. Oh, on the bridge. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the NLS up here on these. This might be. Let's do that. Let's do that up here. Done. Well, here's MIDI channel, and for some reason it's giving me that's interesting. Okay, we went Nevo. And Nevo on this as well. Also Nevo on this. I'm curious as to why this electric piano is giving me that option. And why it looks like that. And why that thinks it's a bus and this thinks it's a channel. I don't know. There's some things I just don't know. I just kind of go with it. What are you going to do? So, yeah, that's what we got so far. I will probably also tomorrow start adding to the mastering and start mixing a little into that as well as I continue to kind of navigate a little bit of the volume adjustments. And I also need to listen back on the speakers and get, yeah, that's it so far. So here's the most important thing. Save your files. I have dumped tracks before and it was not fun. So I know I'm looking down here is because I'm seeing the comments on my phone because I've got so many other things pulled up on my computer that I'm reading comments from my phone. So, all right, once again, you guys, thanks again so much for hanging out with me. Like I said, tell your friends. I'll be here all week. No, I'll be here for a while because I got an EP to finish. Hopefully by the end of the year. I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to give it my damnedest try. So, yeah, if you want to support my channel, every bit helps me, keeps me going because this is what I do full time. And I'm also available for doing vocals, for demos and your recordings or harmonies, string arrangements. I love doing it all. So, give me a holler. Just hit me up on my channel, send me a message, and I'm off to see the wizard. You guys have a great night, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Hopefully, I might get started a little earlier. All right, y'all take care. And if you didn't hit the subscribe button, please do. I would love to have you on this journey. Okay. Again, my name's Lisa Marshall. We're doing this vintage Stax Records style. And hope you're enjoying the track. I appreciate you. Bye.